Hey guys, it's Inquisitor Z-Mark here, bringing you a new game called Royal Bounty. It was released on the 10th of August of this year. It's not necessarily a new game as it is a game that I feel is more remastered and redone. See, there's a game out there called King's Bounty, and it's kind of a remake of that game, or a style of that game. So you guys need to understand that this game, first and foremost, is actually kind of an older style kind of game. And what I mean by that is that it's, it's in this feel of a 1990s game. So a lot of stuff was still coming out around that time. And so the game doesn't really have the kind of polished feel that you would be expecting at this point. So the publisher is ISO Software and iOS, or IO Software. I don't even know what that is. I thought it was ISO. But anyway, so this is who it is. And I've been playing this game. And actually, this game is really cool. I've been really enjoying it. So we're going to show it to you guys. And of course, you always got to start out here. So starting out, this is where you start. You're in prison. You don't have anything. You got the yellow bar here, which is your actual movement, like points or action points before your turn ends and the enemies or whatever decide to move. Now, running through the dungeon, you're given the option firsthand to actually sit there and recruit people into your army. Now, I really don't feel like going through the whole recruiting process. And every time I do, I end up dying for whatever reason. So I'm actually just going to straight up run. And you do that by double clicking around. But of course, people are yelling at you, whatever. No, come back. But you know what? Fuck them. We don't really care. Anyway, moving on. As you can see right there, that was actually the guard that I had, quotes, knocked out. And he's chasing me right now. Okay, so I misled the guard, so I can keep running. If it'll let me run. There we go. Go. There we go. The guy's apparently determined to get to me. Oh, and then we found a boat, so we're gonna go grab the boat. Get on the boat. Okay. So you get teleported to the main island here, and this is where the game really starts to get into action here. So you run up this way. You get to talk to some guy here. There we go. Okay, so he's like, "You're from the boat, blah 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 blah. Find me a longbow, I'll help you." Okay, well, you need a longbow, and right here you're given a quest, and you can kind of look at it. Now, I know where the longbow is, but here, I want to show you guys, to get to the first city, you gotta talk to a token master, they call it, I think. Keymaster's tent, okay. But before we can do that, we gotta get a bit of an army. So we have a bow here. We're gonna go back this way. There we go. We're going to talk to this guy again. And he's like, yay, longbow, blah, blah, blah. I'm in your army. Okay. Now comes the actual part of the game here. And yeah, it's partially exploration, but mostly it's really thinking about your battle system here. Okay. So this right here, and I know it looks a little strange, but this right here is your combat. Ooh. So, right offhand, you're given a grid, and you're told, okay, this is, well, actually, they don't tell you much, because it's a 1990s-like game, so they don't really tell you a whole lot. But you can cast spells by clicking on stuff here, so we're going to cast shield on this guy, because I like him. I don't know who he is, but he looks fun to play with. Anyway, so we're going to move him forward. Now this guy's an archer, so he can shoot from literally across the map, and I'm not real worried about it. So we're going to kill that guy first. And they're going to go into a combat, and this guy's just going to straight up stab him. Well, I lost my militia guy, but I guess at this point it doesn't really matter, does it? So we run back this way. Oh no, road camp. Okay, cool. Keep running. And you can pick up money here. And you can't go there yet because you gotta do something, apparently. But here's the keymaster. He says, "Be gone. I know your purpose of being here." Blah 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 blah. So you move on, and this is where you use your keymaster's token, and you walk in here and talk to this guy. And it's a big process to get to the actual part of the game where you start exploring and running around and doing stuff. Okay. So when you find a treasure chest, it usually has some gold or something in it. You can take it, or you can spread it around and get experience. I want experience, because experience is always good. Anyway, so you talk to this guy here. He's like, "Oh hey, let's go fight some dude named Herbert." And that's like awesome, because you get 2 sets of archers, and they're right there. And these guys are actually pretty good. But if you go up to these buildings, can I get in this building? No, I can't. Okay. If you go to these buildings, you can do stuff. Like here, I can actually recruit peasants to fight for me, which I really want to do. I'm going to hire more peasants. Yeah. Okay. Now, something you can do, which is interesting, is you can actually you can split your troops in half, more or less directly. And then here's your army pane, so you know what's going on. Every once in a while you hear the sound glitch too. But we're just going to start running, because this is where it starts. Now this is where the real adventure begins, because I have no idea where you're supposed to really go. So I'm just going to show you basically how this works here. As you run along in the world, you're going to find people. And whether you can get to them or you can win in a fight, you can be told by your cursor. If your cursor is red, then the action is not a plausible one. However, if it's green, it's a good idea. Now, if you pay attention, you can actually discover secrets. It's really cool. Let's see. There's a militia guy. We can fight him. So we're going to go fight him. Okay. So we're just gonna kind of play this how we need to. Now, most of the time the enemy's troops are going to be a little bit better than yours, so the biggest thing that is probably the most helpful when playing this game to start out with is just hire as many troops as you can. Of course, it's a little more complex because, you know, you have, as you saw, a currency system that is unique. I mean, I saw, like, I don't know, 7 different items I could use for, like, currency. Like, I don't even know what they are. I'm not gonna lie, this game confuses me a little bit. But having a higher number of troops actually ties into a certain factor of whether or not you're going to win the fight. Now, something I'm noticing that's really cool is if you want to attack this guy, say, from a different direction, we'll put your cursor right on the line, and you can choose that. So it's got, you know, little nifty stuff, and it has a bit of a modern feel to it. But I think the biggest problem that people are having right now with this game is the fact that it can be slow at times and a little monotonous. But then again, it's modeled after a 1990s game, so you can't really expect too much. But it's definitely a great time waster, especially when you're sitting there and having fun and doing all sorts of great stuff. So how do their peasants move further than mine? That's weird. Oh well. And most of the time, if you have archers, you can kill them before they even get to your foot troops. Like that. So that was like nothing. But there's a chest there, and I know it's there because I was here once before. And we're going to get experience. And you're level 2, and you already have this. I think that's kind of added because I don't ever get the chance to click on anything like that. But you're given 2 abilities. You can learn stuff that's passive here, like Advanced Wisdom, and I can learn level 4 spells and Basic Offense, which allows me to get, excuse me, more damage. So anyway, you're running along, and you'll end up getting a bunch of quests as you go along. And this game is, you know, it's got its good moments, and it's definitely worth looking into and playing. If you ever wanted to just sit there and, well, waste time, so to speak, well, this is probably one of the best games to do that with. I've seen some people on Steam who've played it for, you know, several hours and stuff like that. They got the hours on their records and stuff. But this is a game totally worth looking into. I'm going to do Advanced Offense. Anyway, as you run along, you'll just learn how to complete quests. You'll find people to fight. And so, I mean, this game, it doesn't have a whole lot. You know, so people kind of look at this and they go, oh, it's not worth my time. There's not really a whole lot going on, so on and so forth. And, you know, that's fine. But I think people are beginning to underappreciate the fact that even though this game looks boring, can feel boring, it's actually a nice little gem that is not commonly found. It really takes you back to, you know, when you had these kind of games. And this was considered, well, you know, entertainment then. So it's got a great little feel. It really reminds me of, you know, when I was younger and played these kind of games. Of course, you know, it's more modern, so it runs smoother, and there's a lot more stuff going on. I'm not sure as far as whether there's an update or anything, or if they update it, but as you can see, they got some really neat stuff, you know, tons of quests, 180 creatures you can put in your army. You know, it's got a really good interface. The only thing I'm frustrated with when it comes to this game here specifically is the fact that unless I click on stuff or I find a special way to look at it, it doesn't really explain a whole lot to you. Like, what is this? I've never even seen this symbol before. And what is this? I have no idea. Does this save my game? No, it opens the menu. How would I know that? You know, it's stuff like that that just kind of makes the game a little less than, what's the best word? Less than desirable. But more or less, either you can sit there and nitpick all the little things, or you can actually sit back. You know, if you're a smoker, you know, of certain things, you can sit back and smoke and just kind of zone out as you play this. There's a lot of neat stuff you can do with this game. So I encourage you guys to come back and look at this game again and compare it to the games of its time, like 1990 games, specifically stuff like XCOM, and you will see a noticeable difference as far as, or not even difference, more of a comparison as to what the game, you know, is modeled after versus, you know, what people expect it to be. But it's a pretty neat game. As you can see, it's got a lot of fluid animations and stuff like that, and the pixel art looks fantastic. There was a lot of thought put into this. Not real sure how long this game would have taken to develop, but it definitely was someone's, you know, a lot of someone's time. So I think this game is worth looking into, and I really think you guys should come back and look at it. But thanks for watching, guys. Hit like or subscribe. I always appreciate your support, and see you around. This video is supported by OmarPwned, a member of Blob Games Studio.